you may be focusing on the wrong thing when building your dungeon teams in Element Fission. And we need to talk about it. We're going to talk about it today because there's a thing in this genre that has been happening over the years where we are conditioned to want to speed run everything. That's like the ultimate in-game goal, is to have the fastest dungeon times possible so that you can farm as much gear and other resources as quickly as you can, right? And that makes sense. That's the way that it's been for a really long time. And Element Fission has made some adjustments to the system where that's not really necessarily the most important thing anymore. So let's talk a little bit about it. My boxing club team, my fastest clear is 42 seconds. And that's the team that I was running for a while. And it probably had like 100 and I think it had around 130 luck. I think it was something like, I don't remember exactly. It was either 102 or 130 something. And if you don't know, luck increases the amount of dropped items at the end of the fight. So if you have very low luck and you clear a dungeon run, you probably just get a piece of gear. A piece of gear pops up on the screen and you decide whether or not you want to keep it. Once you get around 100, you'll start getting 2 pieces of gear that drop. And once you get around 200, you start getting 3 pieces of gear. And once you get around 300, you start getting 4 pieces of gear. And it keeps going. I've asked the developer, like, what's the cutoff? And he said, there's no cutoff. The more luck you can get, the more pieces of gear you'll get to choose from. So I recently came in and decided I'm going to not worry so much about how fast my team can clear and worry more about luck and consistency. I would say consistency is probably the number one priority that you should have. You do not want to be failing dungeon runs, right? I think after consistency, the most important thing, and arguably the only other important thing, is how much luck can you get on your team. If it takes you 10 minutes to do it, I mean, that's a little extreme. But like if it's a 3 or 4 minute run, but you've got 400 luck, I think that's way better than a 35 second team with 110 luck. And the reason is what we're about to look at here. Having more options to choose from in every run is going to be such a game changer. Such a game changer. So let's look at this, for example. Let's say that if I had less than 100 luck, like if I had low luck and was only getting 1 drop per run, this would be the one that dropped. So this would not be something I would keep. I would sell it and I would move on. Let's say I had 100 luck and it was these two, right? This is one I might actually keep. So by adding that luck, I now, instead of doing a run that only netted me a little bit of gold, now I get a piece of gear that, unless it rolls all defense, I'm probably going to be able to use somewhere. Those other 3 substats are pretty good for a power piece. However, because I have over 200 luck, I get a 3rd piece to choose from, and now I've got a swift piece with some speed. So now I've kind of got a decision to make, right? And if I had more luck, there would be a 4th piece. At 202 luck, occasionally I'll get a 4-piece drop. And I'll have 4 pieces of gear to choose from in a run. But here, I'm at a minimum now. I'll never see less than 3 unless I take some luck off this team. And it is so game-changing. You're in essence, in a 20x run, there are 60 pieces of gear dropping. And you're getting to choose 20 of them to keep. Whereas if you don't have this, you do 20 runs, there's just 20 pieces of gear that drop. And if you're lucky, you'll keep one of them. Whereas here, it's rare there's not a piece of gear worth keeping for me. I'll say maybe 7 to 10 times I'll sell all. But again, I've been doing a lot of farming, so I'm actually a little torn here. I don't know. These are both good. I feel like I got to take the swift piece on the chance that it rolls speed, but that's a nice piece of gear. I think I'm gonna take this one though. I don't know. I've got some. No, I got to take the swift piece. Dadgummit. That's the downside. Sometimes there will be more than one piece of gear that you want. So you can make this work with the popular teams. The stat requirements for something like this are not very high. You just have to come in and work out some of the other stats that maybe you thought you needed to focus for luck. I've had quite a few people over the weeks reach out and share the details of their teams. Tender God in my Discord has been very helpful. He joined and shared a lot of info about his team. He's helped a lot of people. He's answered questions and helped them get their stuff sorted. Lots of really helpful people in the community and in my Discord in particular. So I appreciate that. But basically, you take the popular team. Again, if we go to the strategy tab, this is a fairly popular team. You'll see a lot of the usual suspects in here, right? And you just figure out where you can swap out luck. So for example, my Ninrat is on full discover, luck rate slot 2, because all I really need him to have is enough crit rate and enough accuracy to land his dots, and I need him to go in the right order. My tree pirate captain, ghost captain, I always want to call him pirate captain. He's in full inspire to help my bookworm one-shot the waves, which he does most of the time. He could stand to have a little bit better gear. But I haven't even prioritized my good gear on Bookworm because it's really not that hard to come in here and do. My Steel Wing is on double discover with an Inspire set with luck rate slot 2. And my Turtle Tank is built for some other stuff. I move his gear around quite frequently, actually. But I've built him now for a Juggernaut team. But if you're not using him for that, I could come in and swap him to a full discover set, which I probably should start doing, and bump my luck up even more. But again, because you don't really need a lot of survivability on this guy, and you really don't need a lot of accuracy on this guy for this. The way that this team works, he buffs, Bookworm clears the first wave. Next wave, Ninrat stacks poisons on the mid-boss, he explodes him. Third wave, he buffs, he clears. Last wave, you get to the boss, he's going to refresh. He's going to poison. He's going to explode. There's going to be a little bit of HP left, but the boss isn't going to kill you, and as you just saw. So like it's not hard to do, and it's so much better. It's so much better if you shave. I think I shaved 20 seconds. Like I added 20 seconds or so to my run. My run's not even that. Like 10 to 15 seconds tops by changing the gear up a little bit, and I get so much more usable gear that I'm going to be keeping. So I'm going to work to go through all my teams and start making them work with focusing luck instead of focusing, my heavy metal team, for example, they don't all need, this one's a little bit harder. So like he'll probably have to stay the same, but in a long-term situation, as the Discover gear gets better, you might be able to build them in all Discover and still keep the crit on them and have them be able to do what they need to do. I don't really use this unit for a ton else. I use this unit in Tunnel sometimes. There's no reason I couldn't swap this unit over to full Discover if I can keep the speed and enough accuracy to be reliable and bump my luck up, because heavy metal would be a fantastic. They're all fantastic dungeons to shoot for at least 200 luck. I think getting to choose between 3 pieces of gear every run is an absolute game changer. Choosing between 2 is nice. Choosing between 3 has been noticeably different in the quality of the gear that I'm adding to my account at the rate that I'm adding it to my account. So I just kind of thought it was important to talk about this because, again, I know that especially if you've been playing these games for a while, it's kind of ingrained in you to like, get a speed team. I got to get a speed team. And if you're newer, a lot of the advice that will be floating around for these games in general is work towards a speed team, work towards it. But this game is kind of changing that. I don't think doing it fast is so important anymore. If you can do both, if you can do it fast and have high luck, great. That's kind of the new end game goal, I would say, to shoot for. But I think you should be willing to sacrifice a substantial amount of speed for luck. The cost per usable gear will go down drastically. Your farming will be so much more efficient if you focus luck more than you focus how fast you can do a dungeon. Doesn't matter how fast you can do a dungeon unless you're trying to get on this leaderboard, right? Unless you're trying to get on this leaderboard, which cool. It's cool. It's a cool thing to accomplish. It's a cool thing to be there, but it's not. You're not getting anything for it. There's no rewards for it. So I think luck. I think luck is probably the way to go here. So again, consistency first, then luck, then the speed of the clear. I think those should be the priorities. So that's it. I just kind of wanted to do a quick little public service announcement about that and share some brief details about the boxing club setup. If you guys want a more in-depth video of like full detailed builds and stuff, let me know. We'll do that too. But I think it's basically just taking the team that already exists, that's all over the strategy tab, and putting luck in where you can, and just keep the turn order. You only need to be faster than the enemies, and they need to go in the right order. Other than that, stack as much luck as you can. So anyway, that's it. Let me know if you want more details on that, and we'll start working on some good luck setups for some other dungeons and stuff. But that's it. I'm getting out of here. Hope it was helpful. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you later.